don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Well, we got good old Berlicify here, all excited that people's Switch accounts are getting banned, or people's Switches are getting banned. Let's get into it.
Things are getting real interesting for the Nintendo Switch 2 because people are getting online banned for using a MIG switch, and there's a lot of reports coming in about this.
And let me guess, Nintendo fanboys like you are perfectly okay with this.
My Switch 2 test has been banned after using the MIG switch with perfectly legal dumps of my own cartridges.
Which is very anti-consumer, but I have a strong feeling you're going to be perfectly okay with this.
It would seem Nintendo can detect something. Also, reports on Reddit are starting to come in. I strongly recommend that you do not use it. It was already very risky, but even more so on the Nintendo Switch 2.
It's sad that you can't even use it. Even though it's perfectly legal, what you're doing isn't illegal. You're dumping your own games that you own. But of course, Nintendo has to sit here and keep having control over the consumer.
And then I want to see if there were any updates. Yeah, bans are multiplying following the use of MIG Flash on Switch 2.
Yes, we already know this. Get on with your point already.
I'm just sitting here like, who's that stupid? Oh yeah, the anti-Nintendo video game piracy crowd.
The person you're referring to said they did it legally, so of course you would be happy. But even if it was piracy, let's say, why does it bother you so much? You're still going to be able to play their games. Are you just jealous that you have to pay for it and the people that pirated do not?
Wanted to let everyone know to refrain from using it on the Switch 2 online for now. My Switch 2 was just banned. My account is fine for now. Only games I had were my backed up games. Must be some new detection Nintendo has on these.
See, it was his game, so how can you be okay with this?
Pretty dumb of me to go online with it. That's on me. These losers just can't resist the temptation.
He literally just said he did it legally. They were his games. These weren't pirated games. These were games that he legally dumped onto his, whatever that damn flash drive looking thing is called. And you're going to call him a loser because he was doing something legally?
Edit, my Switch 2 was banned, but my main Nintendo account is not banned. Wouldn't hold my breath. Now that's what I want to see.
For what? You really want Nintendo to ban people's accounts for illegally playing their games? There is something wrong with you. You really are a special kind of something.
I want to see Nintendo account bans for the MIG Switch or anything that gets a punishment for messing with the Nintendo Switch 2.
What I really want to see is I hope that your Switch 2 just automatically breaks right now.
Just waiting at this point for Nintendo to drop the ban hammer on my account, then people showing proof and stuff.
Oh, most likely it's coming.
I'm so confused why anyone trusts Nintendo enough that they can use a MIG cart on anything other than an entirely offline machine.
Well, that MIG switch thing, it's illegal. They're not doing anything wrong, so it shouldn't even matter if they connect online with it or not.
You are self-banning yourself at that point, though, which is a really good point. What's even the purpose of this if you can't go online, and if you do go online, you get banned from online for it?
Well, just wait until you sit there and use a third-party controller and they ban you for that. Because that's what's coming next.
The second it goes online, the telemetry uploads and bricks online shortly thereafter. Whether you stay offline or go online and get banned, it's the same result in the end. Nintendo is making it clear. MIG equals online ban.
The only thing that's being shown is Nintendo just wants to exert more control than what they should be able to.
They've had 8 years to learn and refine their approach from the ground up. Not a good outlook. And that is music to my ears from the Nintendo Switch hacking crowd. Morale is going down, and
of course it would be music to your ears. All you care about are these greedy corporations, and you don't even care about the consumer or your fellow gamer.
They're making posts like this because it's bad. It's a PSA. Like, no, don't even try to do anything with the Nintendo Switch 2 yet. You're not going to get away with it.
What are they doing? They're not doing anything illegal. How can you be okay with this?
Strong recommendation, do not do this. They don't have any workarounds. They're not beating the Nintendo Switch at this point.
Oh, don't worry, they will. And I know that I said I would try to be a little nicer, but fanboys like this make it very difficult.
And it's also like we're not seeing a fake post of, oh, I got banned, haha, JK, I just wanted my internet farming points. It's It's like, no, these are like legit posts. Now more and more people are getting banned and they're asking questions like, oh no.
Which should be very concerning to you. Why would you want a corporation to have this much power in the first place? It's not their system.
What happened? How did this happen? What is Nintendo doing? How can I undo it? It's like, nope, you're gone, bucko.
Which is wrong. What he did was completely legal. You know, I guarantee you, if someone sat there and bought a third-party controller and used that instead of buying Nintendo's overpriced Pro controller, and they got banned for that, he probably would be like, well, you should have bought Nintendo's real product then.
So we have the Nintendo Switch 2 Reddit, and my Nintendo Switch 2 console has been banned, and I have absolutely no idea why.
My guess is you didn't even know that you used something that Nintendo was against. It's not like Nintendo released an article saying, do not use this damn thing. We don't care if you use it illegally or not.
A Switch 1 has used a MIG switch with copies of games found online and hasn't been banned. I've updated the games through the regular update process, and that console hasn't been banned.
Oh, we know this is gonna trigger him. Just you wait.
Oh my god. The online gaming community is just stupid. I mean, we see that with people that deny cheating in Pokemon.
I have no idea what he means by the whole cheating in the Pokemon community. I'm assuming he's meaning when people hack the game to have a Pokemon created with max IVs. I don't think that's cheating. Maybe, you know, Nintendo should just give them the opportunity to have those instead of making them go through hoops to find them.
We see that with all like the pro piracy, anti-Nintendo, and anti-Game Freak stuff. Like, it's actually just mostly idiots. That's the terrifying thing about the internet to me, is that like it just shows how many dumb people.
My guy, you are defending these greedy corporations like Nintendo. You have no room to talk about anybody being an idiot.
Are just out there in society, and it's really, really scary. I won't be doing the same on my Switch 2 anytime soon, but people still don't understand what's actually reported and flagged by the Switch 2 yet.
Oh, just wait until they find out, because they will. I promise you they will figure that out.
So this dude just kind of wandering around like, I haven't been banned, so no one knows. You probably should stop using it on the Switch 1 online. Recent update to the EULA is reflected on the Switch 1 as well as the Switch 2.
This is completely ridiculous. I still don't understand how you can use something that's completely legal. Whether or not you put pirated games or not on, it shouldn't even matter. It's not their console.
And I don't understand like the whole thing about people going, yeah, but it's in the EULA now. Now the Switch terms are going to break your consoles and stuff. Nintendo's always been like that. It's always been that way if you hack your console. This is nothing new.
It doesn't matter if it's always been like that. It's wrong, it's wrong. It's not their console. It's not their property. You paid for it.
It seems like they weren't as punishing with the Switch 1 because of how big the vulnerability was.
No, they weren't as punishing with it because they weren't able to detect it.
So they just kind of like gave up and maybe just used it for research, a little bit of punishing for like the most egregious abusers of it. And then now they're using all this like, okay, we made the Switch 2 unhackable. If you try any shenanigans.
And this is the reason why so many people are trying to hack the system, because of fanboys like you that said the system was unhackable. You sent out a challenge on the internet and the internet said accepted. I honestly think it will be fully hacked in under a year.
We're going to bust you for it. And we can also just kind of like fully apply everything to the Nintendo Switch 1 as well. It's clear they're watching diligently now.
Well, they can continue to apply to the Switch 1. The thing is, they couldn't detect it in the first place. That's why no one got theirs banned or bricked.
May slip through for a while on Switch 1, but if they can detect it on Switch 2, they can detect it on Switch 1. And that is something I don't like about companies, where it's like, yeah, you can enforce this. You've had the power for a while, and you just let it get bigger and bigger and more problematic, and then maybe sometimes they do something about it.
Well, I don't think they could have sat there and detected on the Switch 1. That's why they weren't doing it. They didn't start doing it until the Switch 2. So there's a reason why they're only doing it on the Switch 2, but not the Switch 1.
Like, I understand ban waves. I love the honeypot, but sometimes it just seems like they don't get enough done in enough of amount of time or quick enough. It's like, well, now the problem's too big.
It was never a problem to begin with. Nintendo was still making money. You were still getting your games. What's the problem?
To stop even if you start punishing. But it's really going to be interesting to see if they just like apply all this and then retro it into the Switch 1 or start banning Nintendo accounts.
I'm pretty certain knowing Nintendo, how Nintendo is when it comes to this crap, if they could have sit here done on the Switch 1, they already would have.
So yeah, I've used it for ages. I've never been banned. I'm doing this thing Nintendo will ban you for.
Which they shouldn't be allowed to if you're doing something perfectly legal.
I've just been getting away with it. Suddenly I'm banned. What happened?
Oh, are you a little jelly that he got away with it and you had to pay all those premium prices for an underrated product?
So, your MIG switch got detected, didn't work, and then you were online, and then it connected online, and then it didn't work. He put the MIG inside Nintendo Switch 2, tried to boot up a game that also downloaded an update. It was flagged as fast as possible. So it seems like that's how it can happen.
Well, I really hope that they find a way around it very soon. If they obtained a legal way of those games, then this should be allowed. Well, that's it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hot and salty.